guess what happened?
Dudes ruined it.
You're right. Just like just about everything in the world.
Yeah.
Dudes ruined it. Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Aloha, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm gonna hang 10. I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
Have you ever surfed before?
Hell no.
I did once. One time. Dolan, have you ever surfed?
No.
Dolan doesn't surf.
Nope.
Closest I ever came was as a kid, going to Showbiz Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And that bear sat on the surfboard. That's the closest I've
That's
ever
the closest.
I got one of those training swim boards or whatever.
been. Oh, like a skim board or whatever?
Yeah, whatever those boards are.
Yeah.
YMCA once upon a time, taking swim lessons.
That just seems like a head injury waiting to happen, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Doing stupid shit, and then you fall and you hit your head.
I paddleboarded once. I guess that's closer.
Yeah, that's closer to surfing.
I guess.
I like paddleboarding, actually. It's a lot of fun.
So the reason why we're talking about surfing and aloha and catching a big wave, I guess, I don't even know.
Yeah, hanging 10.
Hang
Yeah,
10.
that's what you
You
do.
know what hang 10 is, right? You put all 10 toes over the front of the surfboard. That's what hang 10 means.
Look at
Wow.
you with the
Put
surf
all
knowledge.
your toes over the surfboard. That's a hang 10.
On the front or like on the side?
I think
or-
on the front, I think.
Huh.
I don't know. I was a skateboarder. I wasn't a
just-
surfer.
Can you lay down and just stick your feet over it? Call it a hang 10?
That's like lay 10, maybe. I
lay
don't
10.
know.
I do a lay 10. I
like
do that a lot.
Like a lay? Like a...
Oh, when you get there?
Yeah.
So that's why Honolulu Beerworks, located at 328 Cook Street, Honolulu, Hawaii. We've got 2 beers from them. Recruiter Braden Boex had brought them back to us from his recent... He wanted to get out for Christmas. He didn't want the nonsense of family around Christmas. And so him and his wife and his child packed up on Christmas Day and flew to Hawaii for a little vacation.
Wow.
And he brought us back some beers. And he saw this one and he thought... I'm going to bring this back because this might be one of the most unique beer names maybe
Yeah.
we've ever had before.
Oh, yeah.
It's called, here we go, and I told you it's going to be a little...
X-rated.
It's going to be X-rated. It's called Pussy Grabs Back.
And there's a cat on there.
And there is a cat, an angry-looking cat.
Yeah.
Now, you would think, okay, that is crude, right?
Yeah.
I would think that.
Sure.
Actually, I wouldn't because I
No, I think it's funny. I actually think it's funny. But okay, you could think it's crude. However, what we found, though, as we started looking this is brewed with a special hop blend for the Pink Boots Society. And Brian's going to talk about what the Pink Boots Society is. So
Yes.
let's
We're going to get into that.
let's pop this open.
First of all, the can is weird.
what is that? It's like it's
It has, it's
Got,
almost
like little ridges on
yes,
it. Or,
Yeah.
It's like gradually smaller. I mean, it's the same.
there has to be a
shape.
reason for that.
I don't know. It just, I've never seen it like that before.
maybe it's like a recycled can, or maybe they're
Maybe.
going X-rated again and calling it a ribbed can.
Ribbed.
Oh, for my pleasure.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But I'd like to know if anybody knows.
Yeah, I've never
Why is that? Yeah.
never seen it that way. First of all, I just want you guys to, acknowledge the fact that I'm wearing a hat
That is
of the brewery.
a very colorful hat. Very Hawaii.
I like it a lot.
I dug this out of the closet.
Love it.
My sister got it for me when she went to Hawaii one of the times, and they hit all the breweries that they could. And I thought, oh, I'm going to wear this today. So I did. It's a Hawaiian shirt print.
It is a very nice print.
And,
Maybe they'll make it into the photo with the beer itself. Maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be on the
Talk to
Untapped
Nathan.
picture.
Oh yeah,
So that's what the first thing I just had to, get out there.
Yeah.
Because I look good.
it's good.
I don't even know where to start with this place because it's in Hawaii and I'll probably never get to go there. I don't know.
You should totally go there.
I should, but
I've
it's
been
not
there
like
once.
It's free.
It
you
is.
know?
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's.
But I don't know. I think there's 2 categories, at least for me, in my mind.
Okay.
Mountains or beach.
Yeah.
I'm a mountains guy. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be, and I would say the same for Braden.
Yeah.
I picture him with a white tank top, zinc on his nose, black socks to his knees, short shorts with the stripe on the side, like the 80s basketball shorts.
Yep.
And maybe some arm floaties. That's how I picture him in Hawaii.
It pale as can be.
Oh, like inside out.
Yeah.
Like a skeleton walking on the beach.
Glowing.
With a cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of close to what I would be like at the beach. So I tend to mountain vacation or maybe even the desert would be okay, but I don't know. So that's one of the things that keeps me here. And the flight. Oh my goodness. That's
The flight was a killer. If I remember, it was 15 years ago that we were there, but the flight was a killer. It's a long flight.
Isn't it like 15 hours? Or isn't it like long?
Nah, we flew to Phoenix and then from Phoenix to there. So it was like from Phoenix to there was like 5 hours. It's a decent flight though. I mean, yeah.
They have food at this place. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. They call their food munchies.
Oh.
There's a certain connotation that rolls with
Absolutely, yeah.
And I thought, I'm interested. Let's see what they got. Soft pretzels, pretty standard for the brewery.
Yeah.
And flatbreads, so all sorts of different. They did not have a Spam flatbread, which I was a little disappointed with.
Wow.
That's shocking.
Because in Hawaii, that's
Honestly.
a huge. It's probably the number one state that
Yeah.
eats Spam is Hawaii. I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, darn. I thought it was my household.
If you might be number two.
I might.
But Hawaii is number one for sure. They had 4 different types of beer mac and cheese. So beer, cheese, mac and cheese. They had different things that you could put in it. They had, I mean, there's just no other way to say this word.
Okay.
Miso tani vinaigrette. Miso tani. Kind of like, I don't know what that is. This must be some sort of Asian thing.
Okay.
Because on the salad name is the Asian Persuasion.
Oh.
So it's an Asian salad. I don't know what that means. Maybe it has some.
Well, miso is like a bean
curd,
fermented bean. Yeah.
He's not getting the pun though.
What's misotani? What's the pun?
Misotani. Two Live Crew.
Yeah, he doesn't know about that.
No.
Sorry.
And that was
See, that's
from. It was from Full Metal Jacket. Was that clip from the song from Full Metal Jacket?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll look it up. That's also
Look it up.
explicit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
We love you long time.
Yeah. So that with what was his name? The main guy from that?
Private Pile.
No, the rapper.
Oh, Luke Skywalker.
Luke.
Luke Skywalker. Yeah. That's yes. Yeah. How he was not sued by.
That was before times.
yeah,
Campbell. Wasn't
yeah.
his real name was Campbell, I think.
Oh yeah.
Here's some of the other beers. You mentioned the bonus beer.
Yep.
That you have one. And it's a German-style ale with hand-toasted coconut. I don't know if that means they just had a torch and... But it won some awards on the
Got
can.
a couple
so
awards
we'll get
out
into
of the
that
can.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was one of the beers I wrote down. They have 4 perennial beers all the time. They're standard ones. This is one of them. El Guapo, which is the golden ale.
From Free Amigos?
I think so.
Would you say I have a plethora of gifts? Yes, El Guapo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sweater. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Kiwalos cream ale
Yum. Okay.
and Point Panic pale ale.
Point Panic has got to be like some sort of surfing place or
I would
something.
assume
Yeah.
some sort of beach thing
Yeah.
or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's their 4 like standard beers. Now this one, Pussy grabs back. Extra pale ale.
It's good.
It's not extra with 3 X's or anything, but it's 6%, 38 IBUs. It's got Palisade hops, Laurel, which I have not heard of
Never
before.
heard of that. No.
Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic. So there's a lot of old school pale ale hops. So we're right in the ballpark for those. That's kind of what you would expect. At least one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've had a beer that had 5 hops in it, 5 different hops. Pretty cool.
Well, one of them brewed with a special hop blend. So
Yeah.
I wondered if the Laurel was like one that they used strictly for this one.
I don't know, maybe. It's been. I mean, I think every time we do a pale ale, which isn't very often,
Right.
I'm always like, God, why don't I drink more pale
I need
ales?
to drink more of these. Right.
Because
Yes.
it's
This
got
one's really good.
the hops I like. It's got that bitterness that I miss. It just doesn't have the punch of the like a West Coast, But man, it just is a nice refresher, good palate cleanser for me.
How good are you with Hawaiian words?
Terrible.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because this brewery is located in the heart of KAKA apostrophe OKA. Okay.
Nope, I don't think that's it.
No.
No. The closest I get to Hawaiian names or words or whatever is my nephew's middle name is Iowani. I guess that's Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's pretty good.
My apologies to the Hawaiian.
Spell it one more time.
KKKK. I'm sorry, KAKA. So KAKA.
Okay.
Apostrophe OKA.
Oka.
Kakaoka.
Kakaoka.
Kakaoka. We'll say it's that.
We'll say, okay.
A lot of apostrophes,
Yeah. So, founded in 2014 by Jeff and Charmaine Seidemann, Hawaiian residents.
Okay.
Yeah.
What island is it on?
It says Oahu brewed, but he was on the Big Island, so he was, yeah.
Must have it everywhere.
So
I
it must,
assume.
yeah. So,
Because there's like 2 or 3 pretty big Hawaiian breweries that I know of. Mm-hmm. This is one of them.
I would assume, it's in Honolulu, so but I assume it's just available everywhere. So they're closed on Monday, even in Hawaii, as a good brewery should be, right? Mm-hmm. Tuesday through Thursday, noon to 10. Friday and Saturday, noon to midnight. Yeah.
Party time.
Yeah. That's that, yeah.
Noon
Sunday,
to
noon to
midnight.
6. So
Yeah.
Sunday, you chill out a little bit.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You are in Hawaii. You gotta
you're on
break
vacation,
a little
right?
bit, once in a while.
The brew pub is decorated with recycled wood walls, local art. They have a very extensive outdoor beer garden. All the things I would want if I were to go to a place in Hawaii and drink beer. I could close my eyes and describe that, and it sounds like exactly what this place is.
You're starting to get me to come around to the idea of visiting the state, because that sounds amazing right now. I miss breweries. I miss spring. I miss the sunshine on my face.
Right?
I miss getting sunburned.
I don't miss sunburns. But
Me neither.
No.
But I do it. I get them. I don't.
There's something about the hang loose, right?
Yeah.
There's something about that that's just,
It's just the island mentality.
Yeah.
It's just different and great. Here's what they had on tap when I just checked. When I did the research, Can't Stop the Dirty Pop DIPA double IPA. Their limited edition, one of their beers was It's Complicated, a smoky blonde.
Oh.
And they have a thing. I think they have fun with their names.
Okay.
This one's called Getting Plowed, and it's a farmhouse ale. So,
Multiple connotations there, but
yep.
okay. All
I
right.
think it would take a few, because usually farmhouses are like 5%.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
whatever. Hop Island IPA is one of their core beers.
Okay.
7.5%. That's pretty strong for just a standard straight up IPA.
For an IPA, yeah.
Ooh, boy. I scribbled that one. Let's say Skeltered Bay, 6.3%.
IPA?
I think so.
Okay.
Ooh, boy. Maca Kilo Brown Ale. That was okay. I
Good.
recovered.
That's fine. Yeah.
Parking Tickets Red Ale, 5.1%. So there must be a parking thing.
There were two constants we'll get to the TripAdvisor later. There were two constants in the not so awesome reviews for them.
Oh.
One, parking there is horrible. So maybe that's why they play on that.
Yeah.
And two, they don't have air conditioning there. But you're in Hawaii, it's 72 degrees all the time. What do you need air conditioning for? Are you high? I don't...
Maybe somebody walked 8 miles to find some oysters. It got hot. There's some of the stuff on their website that they had that was for purchase. I always like to check that stuff out, anything that's different. A lot of Pride-y stuff.
Okay.
Pride-adjacent things. But one of the label sticker, like on my hat, but Pride colors was pretty cool.
Sweet.
Reusable tote bag. Got to assume, in Hawaii.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have those, which I hadn't really seen at a brewery. Had their logo on it. And then they had a Hawaiian shirt style visor. So a hat like mine, but without the top, basically. So like a
just
golf
a
visor or whatever.
Sweet. Okay.
Hadn't seen a lot of visors.
Yeah, nice.
And then you mentioned earlier on the website or whatever, some art, a lot of art in the brewery, or the brew room or the brew house. The artist, I found out who it is, and boy, this is a name. I'm gonna butcher it. Kai, first I can get that part.
Sure.
Ili, maybe. That's the first name. Kai''Ili. That's his first name. Last name, we're just gonna spell it. KAULUKUKUI.
Why are there so many Ks?
That's just how it works. He is, if you like this design, like this logo here,
Yeah.
he did a lot of their beer labels.
Oh.
And he has lots of prints on the website. They had a link right to it. They call him their featured artist.
Okay.
And you can buy prints, you can buy T-shirts, the can, like, label design, like, like a sign like this, kind of. Like if the beer label was folded out.
Yeah.
Before they wrapped it on the can. You can buy that sort of stuff.
Oh.
But his art prints were amazing. And they were mostly ocean animals. There were some people stuff too. But it's worth just to check out the website just to see his artwork. It is really cool. Like, I'm considering maybe getting a piece because it was neat.
Cool.
There's a really cool whale one that was awesome. So
Sweet.
if you're into that sort of marine artwork stuff, I actually have my cousin loves Hawaii, and she has a pool down in Lincoln, and we go there whenever we can in the summertime and hang out. And her whole house is like Hawaii when you walk in. Like, she loves it so much. Like, it's just designed like an island house.
Nice.
And I want to get her a piece of this guy's art.
That would be super cool
for the house. So
yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to do. But it was really cool, and he did maybe 4 can. It was this one, and then maybe 2 or 3 of the other standard ones, and there's one like special edition one that he did. But pretty cool. So if you like that, that's what you got.
All right, so let's get to the title. Let's get to the name, because the name is meaningful, and it's everyone knows what the reference they're making, right? Everybody understands where the reference is coming from.
I think so.
Right? I don't think we have to go back and revisit that nonsense.
I don't want to, but yeah, that was in a time.
Let's see, horribly. Well, I don't want to give super political commentary. It's a pretty embarrassing thing for the leader of our country to say.
Yeah.
In any context whatsoever.
Well, that was just a quick refresher, because I think Dolan wants to hear it.
Maybe.
It was before the election, the Verge election.
It was.
And
well, he was prone to say stupid shit all the time. So,
and the thing that that was maddening was just people were saying like, "Oh, I say worse than that all the time," but you're not the president, or going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, this is their F you to him, basically. I think it's like, we're gonna take this phrase and we're gonna turn around and do something good with it.
Yes.
So here's the Pink Boot Society. I'm just gonna read their mission statement.
Okay.
Because it's every big company, every place has one of these. Created to assist, inspire, and encourage women and or non-binary individuals that are in the fermented or alcoholic beverage industry professionally to advance their careers through education. So it's like a collective of anybody that's in the industry, whether it be on the canning line or the brewer or the chemist or whatever it is.
Yes.
There's a place for you in this group. Pink Boots, it stands for something, which I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's an acronym.
Okay.
Passion, integrity and inspiration, networking and knowledge. So there's the pink part.
Okay.
And then the boots is beer and brewing, opportunity, open exchange of ideas, teaching, and success.
Awesome.
So that sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah.
It also has front and back of the house, availability. So you can even be like a beer server or a
beer tender or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
There's a place for you in this.
Perfect.
So it's just a place, online.
Okay.
You can be a member of it. There are Pink Boot societies. You'll see them all over, like even in Nebraska, we have it. There's beers, they will specifically say Pink Boots, on the menu or on the can, like this one does. But it's just I I guess a collective is the word I would
Sure.
use.
Yeah. I was looking at this International Women's Day, brewed in association with International Women's Day. So.
And it's like, like a lot of places and a lot of things, craft beer is kind of like a dude's thing, right? You think
it gets that connotation. Yeah.
When you think of craft beer, at least for me, I think of people that look like me. Mm-hmm. Chubby dudes with beards and plaid shirts, and that's usually who's working. If you ever see brewers, like that's usually who you see.
Yep.
Tatted up, whatever. And this is a way to, change that, hopefully. And that's the reason that the society is pretty important. And I think there's I didn't think it cost anything to become a member. I don't think it was if it was pretty nominal, and it was like a lifetime thing. They have meetings. Mm-hmm. They have competitions, like beer
cool.
competitions, like, kind of like a Great American Beer Festival. They have that sort of thing, but just for those society members and their beers. But
nice.
You'll see a lot of, I know in Omaha, there's Pink Boots members that are at a bunch of different breweries, and sometimes they'll come together and make a beer.
Nice.
Or two beers at different breweries and have them come out around the same time. I think I saw that at Nebraska Brewing Company at one point in time. So,
that's cool.
It is everywhere, anywhere you go. Mm-hmm. It's not a secret society, but it is. If you look for it, you'll see it.
I hadn't necessarily known about. I mean, I guess I'd maybe heard about it in passing, but until this, I hadn't really known that there was. Here's my stance on this. I don't. Brewing belongs to anybody. I don't care what your gender is, right? It doesn't. Now, if you do it and you're proud of it, fantastic. But I think being proud of who you are and what you do and how you do it is the most important thing. And that's you want to get together with others that believe in the same thing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
And I think sharing ideas is cool, especially in brewing, because that's how you kind of push boundaries and come up with these, different unique things. That was a face you made there.
I tried the coconut Hefeweizen, the other can that he brought. I don't know. I'm going to have to get into it a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see.
Real coconutty?
It is very coconutty, and it is very Hefeweizen-y.
Put those two together. That's usually not something I'm into, but you know what?
Nope.
I'm going to do it.
Well, try it.
Here's some other information I got for us.
Okay.
And it's related to the last beer. So I didn't do anything on this coconut one. Up until about the 1500s, brewing was generally a woman's work, as you would say. They did it everybody brewed pretty much at home. One of the reasons was because their drinking water was shit. So that was a way to drink liquid, and it would be safe because you cooked it basically. Another thing that they would use it for basically was like meal replacement. There was nutrients, and it was good for you, quotes, because there wasn't, grocery stores around. So people would have beer at home just to have a meal. That was what it would do because it had all that stuff in there.
I do that now.
Yeah, I do that now too. So some things don't change, right?
Okay, yeah.
Guess what happened?
Dudes ruined it.
You're right. Just about everything in the world.
Yeah.
Dudes ruined it. They said, you know what? We want a stake of this because when women were doing this, if they had extra or maybe they weren't married, they didn't have a family or whatever, they could go and they would sell their beer to people that, wanted some.
Yeah.
And so this was 1500s or whatever. And guys were like, we don't really want them to be making money or having any sort of power or jobs.
Yep.
They're witches. They're witches.
We've heard this.
Women are witches. These women, and this is where a lot of witch imagery comes from.
Witches brew and stuff like that.
Beer cauldron. The cauldron was in a big,
and the stirring and all that.
They would have a broom to keep everything clean and swept up.
Right.
So they would often have a broom.
Yep.
Or they would have a little shop or out on the street. They would just make sure everything was clean. They would wear tall, pointy hats because women generally are shorter, and they would be in a big marketplace, right?
Oh yeah.
And so if you were selling, everybody liked that.
Oh, somebody's happy out there.
if you were trying to sell your beer, no one could see you. That's tough. So they would wear these hats that were super tall, so that if you were way across the way, you could see. Oh, hey, there she is, and she's got beer. So pointed hat, broom, cauldron.
All these things sound good. Why did they turn bad?
Dudes.
Stupid.
Dudes. So for 7,000 years or so, that's, I think, when they can kind of see when beer was being created, right? So it's been around. A lot of times it was for religious ceremonies, and then later on it became more like what it is today, so, like just a daily staple. It was also a way to use grain, any sort of old like bread or any that sort of stuff. They would do that. They would sell the beer just to make some money, keep around the house or whatever, just to supplement incomes.
Right.
And then, let's see, I think it was in England. It was actually illegal for women to sell beer or make beer because they wanted women to be home, taking care of kids.
Gosh.
So it was illegal. You could not do it. You will go to jail. So that was one of the things.
You're so backward. They're so backwards.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right.
17% of craft breweries have a female CEO.
Wow, I would have thought way less, but okay.
Only 48% of those have a female brewmaster.
Of the 17%.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So of that, less than half have
Yes.
a female head brewmaster.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So there's lots of room to grow. Lots of changes can be made.
Yep.
But yeah, as far as the history of it goes, I thought it was interesting. And I think it's weird how, especially the witch thing, like
Right.
something that was good and helping people in theory
Turned bad.
turned bad. We didn't want it, and we switched it all around, and it stuck. 600 years later, we're still, got witches.
So let me understand this right, because this sounds backwards. This sounds dumb to me. So your wife would make you beer. Mm-hmm. You would come home, and she had made you beer, and somehow you decided that was bad.
Yeah.
What?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I got like
Come on.
a mead brewing kit for Christmas this year. And I think every weekend so far, my wife has been like, "You gonna do this yet? You gonna start this? What did you get this for? Like, I'm gonna start it if you don't."
Oh.
And I'm sitting here like,
Could you? Yeah.
maybe I won't.
It's like when food tastes better when somebody else makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be the same.
Yeah.
Did she get you this kit?
Yeah, it was her gift. I've been playing around with like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try it because we have a lot of honey. Like one of our things before she was diagnosed with SIBO was we would go to the farmer's market wherever we were on trips and stuff, and we would buy honey. Like we loved honey. Now we got all this leftover honey, and she can't eat it.
Oh.
So my thing was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to make this mead because at that point she can drink it because it had been whatever
Cooked down or whatever.
cooked down, yeah. And so that was like the idea, and I kept thinking like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. I'll buy it soon. And she just did it for Christmas, and she's like, okay, you gonna do this? You can do this. I think part of it's like she wants to see me do it and like enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is like, get this honey out of my cabinet.
Get it out of there.
Yeah.
That could be it
I've
too.
got a lot of it too, so I might be able to make like 2 batches. I don't know.
Well, you should make 2 batches and then save some and bring it in, and we'll do it on the episode.
That would be fun.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Dolan's mead.
You can make, anything on Untapped. You
Yeah.
can create your own whatever. So
Yep.
you could name it. We can rank it.
Oh.
Oh,
We might even TripAdvisor you.
I don't
0.5 out
feel
of
the
5.
pressure
I
at
would,
all.
yeah.
Would you walk 8 miles to my house and
No.
And how
You
good
got
the meat
oysters?
is, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe.
So they asked Honolulu Beerworks co-owner Jeff, Geoff.
Not Joff, but
Not
Jeff.
No, Jeff.
Okay.
Whether he was worried about the possible blowback from such a provocative label, and he said no, stressing the beer was created to help women brewers. This is his quote. They helped with the recipe. They chose the name. They chose the artwork. All the women that work for us did all of that, said Jeff, who gave particular props to his first assistant brewer, Roxanne. So, if they were okay with it, I was okay with it.
That's how it should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good beer.
It was very good. I enjoyed it.
I wrote down, so brewed for the first time in 2018, it's become so popular, it's now one of their year-round 5 core beers.
Oh, wow.
I think you brought that up,
Yeah.
too, actually.
I didn't know. I thought this was the first year. That's cool.
Okay, I don't like Hefeweizens. That's the second one I opened. The Cocoweizen. Coconut Hefeweizen. I don't. And coconut's weird with it.
I don't like Hefeweizens either, and I don't like coconut at all.
Yeah.
I like coconut adjunct. Like, I like the flavor of coconut.
Yeah.
I just don't like coconut.
You know what's weird is I, too, do not like coconut, and I don't like Hefeweizens, but I like this.
Really?
Really?
I think it's because it doesn't taste like a standard Hefeweizen. It doesn't have that, like, banana-y
Right.
note that
Yes.
I really don't
Yeah.
like. You know, the estery smell, and this one smells like coconut. It doesn't overly taste like it to me, thank
Right.
goodness.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, suntan lotion beer, and it wasn't, which I'm happy
It
for.
totally could, right? I mean, it absolutely could taste like that.
Maybe it's the hand toastedness that I like. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's made with love right there. Hand toasted. You're not just
Toasted.
throwing it in the pot and letting it do
No.
its thing. Yeah.
Hand toasted.
Hand toasted.
I've never had just straight up coconut. Eaten
I
it.
have,
Oh, I have, yeah.
like, I haven't had it, like, from an island or anything, but Hy-Vee will have the whole coconut sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you split it open and you can eat it that way or whatever.
You
but
drink the coconut.
What's the consistency? Is it like chalky? Is it like
no, it's like
wet?
meaty,
Yeah.
crunchy sometimes.
It's
like a nut? Like a peanut?
or
Or cashew? Or
Like last week we talked about Brazil nuts.
Yeah.
Very similar consistency to
Yeah.
a meatier, thicker nut.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No. None of that sounds
I
appealing.
just
to
don't
me.
like the texture. I think that's what it is for me.
I like a little shaved coconut. You put some shaved coconut on something, it adds that little bit to it. I don't mind
The
it.
only time I ever had that I liked it was on the Girl Scout cookie,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
whatever that was.
Yep. Those are the good ones. I
I
like
just had to
those.
swallow it whole though. I couldn't chew it up. That's just me.
All right, so we can't do an episode about a beer from Hawaii without talking about Spam.
Okay.
And I have no research on Spam whatsoever. I just
Oh.
want to talk about it.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can have it.
Really?
I've had it, but it's not anything I ever. would
How have
choose.
you had it? I'm curious. Like, you just slice it up and throw it on.
Sliced and almost like you would do a bologna.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like
fried
heat
it.
it up,
Okay,
fried,
cool.
that way.
So I will take and I'll slice it like that, right? I'll take and slice it, and then I'll season it like I'm seasoning like ribs or brisket or something like
Really?
that, and then put it on the smoker and leave it on the smoker for like 3 hours on a super low temperature.
Really?
And it tastes it's delicious. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a ton of different flavors
Yeah.
of Spam. Like I know that's the thing, and it's popular.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a whole market of like collectibles of Spam, and like
Yeah.
I think there's a Spam museum. Like you got a Spam pen.
I have a pen from the Spam Museum here. It's my second favorite pen here in the
wow.
production room.
Where's the Spam museum?
It's up north, isn't it? Like Wisconsin?
I can't remember, but one of our
Minnesota?
travelers, I think, was it Sheila who sent us all that
I think
stuff?
so. I think Sheila Bissell, one of our travelers,
Yeah.
Spam.
was up there and brought us back some weird Spam flavors, like
Yeah.
pineapple, jalapeno.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were all good. They had one that was tocino, which is
Yeah.
a Filipino sausage that I grew up eating for breakfast, and it tasted just like it was awesome. I mean, well, and that's the thing about Spam. Like for me, it's like I've been eating it my whole life. Like all of my mom, my uncles, my aunts, my grandparents, they've all been on the island,
Right.
you know. And so when they came over here, like I would have Spam fried rice for breakfast, you know, Spam sandwiches. Like Spam was actually, you know, once or twice a week thing for me growing up, and I got my wife into it, and now she's into it, and we get to different flavors when we can. Otherwise, we just go with the Spam Light. Like,
Yeah. It's weird that in a place like Hawaii, I bet you like almost everywhere you go, a restaurant's going to have it like on the menu in some way
Yeah.
as an ingredient or something. And then here, I bet you'll never see it.
It's pretty rare. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
I've thought about it would be really cool to start like a Spam food truck here in Omaha.
That'd be a select
Do they make Spam
crowd.
around here?
That would be. I don't know.
I don't know.
It'd be a pretty select.
Who makes
crowd.
Spam? Like Hormel or
Spam?
is that its own
Spam
company?
makes
I don't know.
Spam,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
don't know.
Spam's its own. I don't know.
I was with Mike Combs one weekend, and we were just barbecue grilling, smoking meat, or whatever, and we did some burnt ends. We did Spam burnt ends.
Oh,
So you do like you would with burnt ends, and you sauce them up, and you put them in the pan, and oh boy, it was good.
That's weird.
my favorite Spam dish is actually it's popular in Guam, so it's where my mom went to high school. It's so you fry the Spam up, and then it's green beans and onions, and then you cover that in tomato sauce,
Okay.
Weird.
and then you put that on top of rice. Freaking bomb.
Wow.
Bomb.com.
I don't even know.
That's a weird combination of things.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It sounds
The
really
green
weird, but
beans is what's throwing me off.
The green beans?
surprisingly.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
You could do if you
So
think of some
awesome.
Asian dishes that have like green beans, onions, pork, or
Yeah.
chicken, maybe you're just substituting Spam for that
Yeah.
other protein, right? I guess.
Yeah, and then it's like I said, it's covered in tomato sauce. Like covered in tomato sauce.
That's the part that weirds me out.
yeah.
The tomato sauce part. I don't know.
Well, you cook it down, reduce it down. It's really good.
It's like a Spam goulash or something.
Honestly, yeah, it's pretty close.
There you go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it salty, right?
Oh, it's very
It's
salty.
very salty.
So
Yeah,
you'd have to drink a lot of beers.
it's one of the bonuses of having
Okay.
Spam.
So we get the Spam Light.
yeah.
So we get it, and it says like less sodium or whatever. I cannot tell the difference.
No.
That's how salty Spam is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I finished the beer.
Yeah.
I did it.
I will reluctantly on that one. Now, the Pussy Grabs Back, I would buy a 6-pack of that and have that all the time. Like that's a really solid beer.
I
Yeah,
really
it was-
liked that one.
was really good. I enjoyed that one too.
TripAdvisor 4.5 out of 5 on 119 reviews. Like I said, I didn't clip out any of them. It just seemed like there are people that maybe shouldn't have been in Hawaii or shouldn't have been going to breweries just in general. They like they said they were complaining about parking and they complained about no air conditioning.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I think. What is the brewery gonna do to control some of those things? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Parking. It's not like they built the street and the parking
No,
and the air conditioning. You're in Hawaii,
you're in Hawaii.
so
Yeah.
I guess go stay in a fancy hotel.
I don't know. Yeah. You can't please, again, like last week.
Yeah.
You can only please some of the people some of the time. So
Have we ever had anything under a 4 for TripAdvisor?
no. I almost want no.
I don't. Yeah. I don't,
Which is weird because normally on those rating sites, it's only for people that are pissed off about something.
Yeah.
There seem to be a lot of very positive reviews on TripAdvisor when I look at them. There was a lot on this one too. There was a ton of positive reviews.
I guess I don't leave my house, so I don't have a reason to go to TripAdvisor ever. But maybe I don't know.
I've left my share of negative Yelp reviews, but for good reason though.
Oh,
like
you couldn't find the bathroom at a brewery, or
that was not me, and that's ridiculous. So no.
okay.
Yeah. Untapped 5,100 check-ins on the Pussy Grabs Back beer.
Okay.
Where do you think we land on this one?
3.77.
I'm gonna go 3.72.
371.
Oh,
So close.
Dang.
Yep.
that's real close.
So close. I was super hesitant about doing this. I thought, but quite honestly, it's beer and it's beer culture and it's for a good cause. Honestly, I think that
I think I agree with Jeff.
Yeah.
If his employees are the ones that came up with it and they're great with it, and so am I.
and Pink Boots will put their logo on this.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a way to fight back. And I think it's a very delicious, tasty way
Visibility is important, I think, and it's becoming more apparent to me the older I get. You know, like representation matters, and this is just another way to do it. And I am a fan of those things, so I enjoyed this. Anyway, I like the idea, and the beer being good was just, you know, cherry on top.
There was a recent podcast I listened to, and I'd have to find it, and maybe I'll have Nathan put it in the description here for this. There is a brewing history employee. There's a woman that works at the Smithsonian who only studies brewing history, like beer and wine history.
Okay.
Like that's it. Like that's her job. One, that's a ridiculously awesome job to have.
Yeah.
And two, it's a female that occupies that position. There was a whole podcast done with her in conjunction with the Smithsonian recently, tracing the roots of a slave who escaped. The reason why she did the podcast on her was because she was really good at brewing beer. And so this slave owner chased her for years.
Oh, because he wanted his beer chef back?
Because nobody could brew beer like she could. And that's how she made money. She would go from town to town as a freed slave, right? I mean, that was it was odd to listen to because it was such a weird time. But she could trace the history of her back just through ads in newspapers.
Yeah.
And at the time, and I guess the beer she brewed was off the charts good. So, and I'm just at the point. I'm just at the point now where he found her after like 16 years.
Holy crow!
So, but the fact that she can go back and find all of this information about her and how good of a brewer she was is fascinating to me. So,
yeah, that's like some genealogy sort of research. Like, that's real research. That's not the kind I'm doing for this show. There's no Wikipedia in her stuff, I bet you.
She is digging back into old newspapers and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, to think that somebody back then was that good at brewing beer is super cool.
Just think of like a day for her. Is she a good day? Is maybe she found one little snippet about something, and that is a whole day's worth of work. And she found one thing in a newspaper 150 years ago.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Like, yes.
You found her like 2 years later in another town brewing beer, selling it or whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to listen to that. Yeah, see if you can link that.
I'll find it and send it over to you. Huh. So. All right, more stouts coming up in the next couple of weeks. I was down in Kansas for a Kansas Jayhawks game. Went to my second favorite, quickly becoming my first favorite brewery in Lawrence. Only because of my first favorite, obviously, is Longevity. Right? We've been there. That's not the name of it. Longevity. It's been there forever. Right? Is Free State.
Oh yeah.
But this is Lawrence Beer Company. They did a barrel aged. They did a straight barrel aged stout that I had there, and it's fantastic. I can't wait for you two to try it.
Is it a slam dunk?
It was a slam dunk.
Sorry about that.
We annihilated.
Braden's in my brain.
There you go. We annihilated Baylor, and then I annihilated some beers the rest of the night.
There you go.
And some barbecue too. It was fantastic.
Sounds like a good time.
All right. Well, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Aloha.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.